Good morning, everyone. You're watching 7 Minutes with the Savior. Pastor Randy Fry here from Gower Christian Church, from Studio 2B in the sprawling Gower Christian Church Media Complex. And you saw the timer to keep me honest. Heard a little bit of "He's got the whole world in his hands." That was one of our great worship musicians, Kristen Giffen, playing on her piano. And what a thought. What does it mean? You know, when we say that God has the whole world in his hands, what does that mean for us? Jesus tells us that it means a lot of things. One, that God values us, cares about us, and cares about creation deeply. It means that God is aware of what we need. It means that out of God's love and care and sense of responsibility for his created world, that he will provide for us. And because God has the whole world in his hands, we can trust him. I'm reading through 1 Samuel right now in my morning personal devotions. And yesterday I ran across the story of Saul early in his kingship. He's just been anointed king, and the Philistines are causing problems, as they did for several decades. And he is putting together an army to go against the Philistines. And at the time, he's smart enough to know that he needs to go to the Lord and ask for the Lord's help in the battle. And he asked the prophet Samuel to come and entreat the Lord for them, and to do a burnt offering before they go into battle. And apparently Saul and Samuel arranged a time to do that, and Samuel was delayed. And when the appointed time passed, Saul took matters into his own hands, and he did the burnt offering that was meant to be the responsibility of Samuel and part of his office as prophet. And there's this great moment. You know how the thing it is with timing. So at least the way the Bible writer sets it out, no sooner had Samuel finished the offering no sooner had Saul finished the offering than Samuel shows up, and he says, "What have you done? What have you done?" And Saul says, "Well, when you were late, and the people were, losing their enthusiasm for the fight. I forced myself to do the sacrifice myself," and that was very much not what God wanted. And actually, God proclaims a judgment on Saul's whole kingship about it. But the whole point is trusting. We have a difficult time trusting God in the matters before our lives, and we're so willing to force matters when things aren't happening according to our own timing. And that's what Saul happened, and the consequences affected the whole of his rule. Because it wasn't just, this is the thing, it wasn't just Saul's impatience in this matter, but it was this was part of his character that he never was able to get above. But this is so instructive for us about if we understand God's care and God's trustworthiness about the affairs of the world and the affairs of our own life, we can trust Him. We'll have the patience to let God work in circumstances instead of forcing the issue. And that's always such an important lesson for us to learn, this lesson of trust, to not be anxious about the matters before us, but to trust in God, because He's got the whole world in His hands. The song, the old spiritual is true. Prayer concerns, we learned that most importantly that Maxine Jackson passed away overnight, and actually meeting with the family here in just a few minutes about services. But please keep Maxine's family in your prayers. She had a health spell about 10 days ago, and never really fully recovered from that. Coming up this weekend, we honor our graduates in worship, and then with a banquet afterwards. So Sunday school at 9:15, coffee time, worship at 10:30, and then right after worship, we will have our annual graduation banquet in the AFC. So please make it a point to be a part of that. And we won't have youth group that night, since we'll be together to honor the graduates. So no youth Sunday night. Thanks for tuning in. Until we meet again online or in person, I bid you peace.